Thank you, Ms. Clark. What an incredible impact you've made, and we're truly a better school due to your service. You know, Legacy Night is a celebration of God's faithfulness to and lordship over Legacy Christian Academy. It's also an opportunity to honor those who have made a lasting impact on our school, who have made significant contributions of time, talent, and treasure to making Legacy the school that it is today. Tonight, we're honored to celebrate the legacy that the Ray family established at LCA. Phyllis and Bobby Ray answered a God calling to help build Legacy from the ground up. Bobby served as the founding board chairman, and Phyllis's name is discreetly displayed in the South Campus Chapel. Their love for children, education, and the Lord led them to jump in head first to build a Christian school in Frisco. Thank goodness they did, because I can assure you we would not be here today without them. They tell stories of a time over 23 years ago when Legacy was simply a vision. How faithful is our God that we stand here today, 23 years later, due to the commitment of the Ray family and countless others to see God's work through. I invite you to turn your attention to the screen to learn more about the Ray family's journey and the blessing that they've been to LCA and the North Texas region as a whole.
When somebody is asked to do something like Moses was asked, to go somewhere in some town, on some land, with the question of where are we even going, it's a pretty difficult decision.
We are standing on the shoulders of some amazing people like the Rays, who made tremendous sacrifices early in our history.
The Rays accomplished many things at Legacy with no skin in the game. They have no children here. They had no grandchildren here. They did what they did for the love of education and for the love of Legacy Christian Academy. In their minds, it was the right thing to do, and it has impacted and will impact generations to come.
And yet they were the ones that started the link, along with Jody Capehart, to start the school.
When Jody called and said, I'm starting a new school and would like you to be involved with us. And where's it gonna be? Well, I'm working on that. I think I've got a place. Well, okay. And how many kids have you got? None. How many teachers? None. And okay, well, when do you think you're gonna open? And she said September. Well, this is
December.
End of December. Yeah. And I thought, oh me.
But we had to believe it was meant to be. We had to know that, that we weren't going to fail. And Jody, with her at the helm, she had the vision, she had the faith, and we just joined her. And it was pretty awesome. It's pretty exciting.
The fact that you would be willing to meet with me was such an act of faith. But you said, what do you need?
Yeah.
And so beyond that, I said, frankly, Bobby, we have no money. and you asked, what do you need?
Yeah.
And you wrote a check. So for you to do that, and I tell people, we would never have gotten launched if you had not done that. And I'm deeply, profoundly grateful. And so now, looking around and seeing everything, it just blesses my heart.
And those first families that had faith.
Those families that had faith,
and
exactly.
Stuck with us.
The impact that Bobby and Phyllis Ray have had on Legacy Christian Academy is paramount. Their example of love and passion for education, without having any ties to Legacy Christian Academy, should speak volumes to us today as to what we need to do with our money, with our resources, with what God has given to us.
When you come in from Legacy, the first thing you see is a beautiful small chapel there with a steeple facing right at Legacy and pointing to heaven. And that was made possible because of the sacrifice and the vision of Bobby and Phyllis Ray. We wanted a place where our children could worship God. We would not be here if it weren't for their sacrifice. They were stewards for the kingdom in making that available to many families. And I often ask the question, I wonder what people 20 years from now will say about us, and how are we going to be faithful in thinking kingdom impact and not just our own family impact.
I got a phone call. You may not get a phone call, but don't let that keep you from being involved and being involved in the school and your children's lives. Get involved. Help where you can, whether that's volunteering, whether it's financial.
There's always needs, and there's never enough hands to meet all those needs. So just step
Be a
out.
part. Be a part of it. It's special.
Bobby, Phyllis, you've always kept your word. Whatever the Lord's dream has been to you, you've fulfilled it. You're the reason we have the chapel. You're the reason that we have the acreage that we have today. When no one out there was writing six-figure checks to start a dream, you were doing that.
Mr. and Mrs. Ray, I, for one, would like to thank you so much for what you did here at Legacy Christian Academy and for what you're doing. Your efforts and your giving selflessly have impacted thousands of lives that you'll never know, that you'll never meet, have been impacted because of what you did here years ago.
Bobby and Phyllis, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for being just a pioneer, for being someone to not only have vision, but to make that vision one with what God is calling you to do. Thank you for your faithfulness and stepping out at a time where it was hard to find people to see what we see is now the fruit of your labor and many like you. We're forever grateful for all that you've done.
Thank you very much.
I love both of you.
Mr. and Miss Ray, would you join us up here on the stage at this point in time?
Wow, that's overwhelming. Yeah, can you hold it? Yeah. Hey, that's good. So when Shannon, we filmed a week ago, I guess, and Shannon said, we'd like for you to make a few remarks. And I said, okay. And she said, maybe 20 or 30 minutes. I thought, wow, okay. And then I got here tonight, and she said, you got your remarks? And I said, barely. And she said, remember, 2 or 3 minutes. And I said, wait a minute, I thought you said 20 or 30 minutes. So you're lucky. Here's my remarks. So thank you, Legacy. Thank you, Kevin, Jody, Jay, everybody. Thank you so much for this recognition and this award, and all of you with your very, very kind remarks. This brings back so many memories. 20, how many years ago? 23? 23 years ago. But I was fortunate to receive that call from Jody and to have the opportunity to work with Jody and be a part of her vision. And yes, challenging at times. We were told a couple times right before school was to open that we wouldn't open. And You know, anytime Jody calls about 9 in the morning, you know that's not good news. And one of the times was that we're going into a church for our first year, and we'll use their classrooms as our classrooms. And she said the city's not going to let us open because this church was not in the city limits. They didn't have a sewer, so they had a septic system. Well, the septic system was sized for a church on 1 day a week, not 130 kids 5 days a week. And the city said, that's not going to work, and you can't open. And I said, well, we'll fix that. And so we worked with the city and worked a deal where we could go out and pump out the septic 3 or 4 times a day till we were able to fix that issue. And I said, okay. And then shortly thereafter, Jody calls and says, you're not going to believe this. They're not going to let us open. I said, what now? You know? And she said that there's only one road into the church. There's not two roads that you have to have for a school. So if something happens and that only road gets blocked, how the kids get out. She said, we got to build a road. I said, why did I take that call? And so we got a road built in about a week. And I was calling in everybody I knew, and luckily we were putting in a subdivision about then and were able to divert. So we opened. 6 months later with 130 kids. It's just amazing. And another, from the start, when Jody said, I said, Jody, so we're going to go like K through 3 or something, you know? She said, no, K through 9. I said, K through 9? Are you kidding me? I said, why K through 9? She says, because my daughter's in the 9th grade. Okay, so how do you say no? So we opened K through 9. But I'm telling you, all the challenges we had, and I'm so thankful for the board members that were with me during that year. Are any of you here tonight? I know we got one key one right here. Stand up. Are any others here? Stand up. That were here during that first year. We had fun. Yeah. Tell me, we had fun, didn't we? Yeah. 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 But it obviously was so rewarding. And then made the decision that we needed a board chair as we move forward that really had either some kids in the school or something, a real buy-in. I mean, I had a buy-in, but it's not like having your kids here, grandkids here. And because the school was just unbelievable, the demand we were having, and we'd moved into part of the school into the church at Pastor Sam Dennis Church up here, and looking at retail space, and I said, wait a minute, we can't keep doing this, you know, and we need a plan. And we've either got to decide, we're at a level here we probably can sustain, or do we really want to grow and grow to the vision that Jody has? And it obviously wasn't it's a hard decision that we need to grow. And in comes Jay. And we had a meeting. it took a while, but Jay decided. No, it didn't. Jay was ready, and I said, I'm happy to stay and do whatever, but Jay needs to be our next chairman. And I will tell you, Legacy would not be here today physically or anything else where it is today without Chairman Jay Allison and all that he did during his tenure on the board. Jay, unbelievable. Thank you for your leadership. So when you got Jay's leadership and Jody's vision, it's amazing what you can do. But we've had two other board members since Jay. Are they here today? I'm sure they are. Where's our? No? Two board chairs after you, Jay. Here's one. Hello, there he is. All right, there they are. Yes, well, I know. And of course, they continued that vision from Jay, and you know, we hadn't been back to the school in a while, and we filmed that short clip that took about an hour to film, by the way, and toured the school, and some of the facilities is just unbelievable to see what's happened and how that vision has taken shape, Jody. But the current board chair and the future board chairs will continue with your vision. And I just heard a while ago, you're already almost maxed out and need to look for other space. And so the vision continues, but it will continue to need a lot of your help and your support. So again, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you so much for this recognition and award. Thank you, Jody, for your vision. Thank you.